So, you might be curious what Gene Wilder's religious beliefs were. Okay? Here's what he said. I'm going to tell you what my religion is. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Period. Terminato. Finito. I have no other religion. I feel very Jewish, and I feel very grateful to be Jewish. But I don't believe in God or anything to do with the Jewish religion. And, he said, I'm a Jewish Buddhist atheist. So you see, that's very cool here. So, he's an atheist. So he was probably a pretty smart guy. He understood that these things like God and heaven, it would be nice if they were true, but it's just, wishful thinking. And so, as atheists, as I myself am an atheist, and I'm thinking, crap. If I die, it's over. It's a game over, like Gene Wilder here. A lot of Christians are probably thinking he's in hell right now, I don't think he's in hell. I think he has just ceased to exist, and to me, that's worse than hell. Ceasing to exist is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. So what I'm saying is, we need to live forever physically on this planet. With technology and science and anything we can use to make us live forever. Because we don't want to die and cease to exist forever. That would be the worst thing that could happen. So I'm terrified of death. I wonder if Gene Wilder was afraid of death. Let me look it up. Was Gene Wilder afraid of death? I don't think it really says. A lot of people think they know what happens after you die. They think they know they're going to heaven or an afterlife. But you know what? I think it's more like what Willy Wonka said. He said, there is no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going.
There's no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
which direction we are going.
So if you die, we don't know. It could be anything. But, I don't think there's anything. That's the point. It's better to err on the side of caution that says that there is no heaven, there is no afterlife, therefore try to live forever physically. I don't believe in any God that's going to come to my rescue and give me, eternal life in the eternal chocolate factory. But I'm not saying there couldn't be a God. There could be. There could be. Nobody would know. That's my point. And if there was a God, God, this hypothetical God, the hypothetical God could be anyone. It could be Willy Wonka. You could go, you could die, and then be at the pearly gates, the gates of the chocolate factory, and Willy Wonka could be there, saying, you know what, you didn't pass my little test. You don't get to go into the chocolate factory.
I just wanted to ask about the chocolate. The lifetime supply of chocolate for Charlie. When does he get it?
He doesn't.
Why not?
Because he broke the rules.
So, what I'm saying is, God is hypothetical, and any hypothetical God could possibly be real. Nobody would know. And so all these Christians out there who claim to know how God is going to judge them and how He requires us to do this and this and this to get the eternal life. They don't know that. God could be very, very strict, like Willy Wonka was. Willy Wonka was like, he was testing all the little children in the chocolate factory. He was testing them to see who was worthy.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose.
Christians will say, well, I'm not being very smart because, what if there is a God and I'm going to be damned because I don't believe in God because I'm an atheist? That's what Christians will say. They'll say, you might go to hell. Like all these Christians now, they're saying Willy Wonka went to hell. They're saying Gene Wilder's in hell. Well, I'm saying they don't know that. They don't know. And they even if there was a hypothetical God, they don't know that God would damn me just because I'm an atheist. God might be a little bit, have a different standard. He might not judge people by what they believed. If they were an atheist or if they were, believed in God. God might not even care about any of that. God might just judge you, like Willy Wonka. He judged Veruca Salt that she was a bad egg, because her actions were bad. Well, what if that's how God would be? He would just judge people based upon their actions, to see if they were a good or a bad egg.
If it's a good egg, it's shined up and shipped out all over the world. But if it's a bad egg, down the chute.
And if they're a bad egg, well, they go down the garbage chute. And if they're a good egg, then they get to go explore the chocolate factory. Nobody would know. See, when it comes to God, you have to realize God is just hypothetical conjecture. Nobody knows anything about this hypothetical God. So, by all means, if you want to fear the hypothetical God, go for it. Fear the Willy Wonka God that could be looking at you, testing you, judging you. Go ahead, fear that God. But but I'm saying is the God you're fearing might not be real. Just know that. Just know that you're fearing a possibly imaginary creation of your own head.
It's a lot of nonsense.
A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men.
All these gods are just, they're products of the imagination. They may or may not be true, and nobody could know that. So I hope I made myself very clear. So if you want to live forever, I think the best strategy is to stop aging, cure aging, so that you never have to die. So that you never have to die and find out that there is no heaven and there is no afterlife and there was no God and now you're just going to be a rotting corpse for the rest of eternity. Don't be a rotting corpse. Be a winner.
You won! You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
A winner who gets to live forever. One of my favorite parts of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was when they were going down the chocolate river through the tunnel. Okay, remember this part? And Willy Wonka, he goes, the danger must be growing. The Grizzly Reaper is mowing.
Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the Grizzly Reaper mowing?
Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing!
This is what our situation is. And there's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. What I'm saying is life is terrifying, and wake up. You need to wake up to the terrifying reality of life and realize that the danger is growing. The danger is growing everywhere. Okay? We're getting older. We're on a chocolate river flowing into, death. We need to fight the Grizzly Reaper. We need to live forever. You know, one of my other favorite things about Willy Wonka, okay, he was a perfectionist. He wanted to make the perfect chocolate. And you don't just make a chocolate factory like his if you're not a perfectionist. You know, he wanted to find the perfect child to give his factory to. So we should all be perfectionists. We should take a lesson from Willy Wonka and be a perfectionist with our eternal life. You know, if there's anything that you want to be perfectionistic about, it's your eternal life. How are you going to live forever? How are you going to defeat death? How are you going to beat the Grizzly Reaper, who will mow you down if you don't do something right now? Time is just ticking away. What did Willy Wonka say? He said, time is a precious thing. Never waste it.
Time is a precious thing. Never waste it.
Well, time is ticking and our time is running out. So don't waste your time. Work right now on how to live forever. Work right now on how to cure aging so that we don't have to die. But I get it. I know what a lot of you people are thinking. You're thinking, oh, you know what? Eternal life, that's only going to be for the rich people who can afford all these life extension therapies. That's not true. Okay, just think about what happened with Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory. Who won the chocolate factory? Who got the keys to the chocolate factory? It was Charlie Bucket, a poor kid who had almost no money. You see, it could be that way with eternal life. What if the poor people, what if we can get eternal life? You know what I'm saying here? It's not just for rich people. Poor people could get eternal life too. But you gotta give to your money to Sen's Foundation. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. That'll help you get eternal life.